Yo, what's going on, Vanquishers? We saved the best for last. You know who it is, my boy, Vale. Let's see what we got in the starter deck. Let's rift. Alright. Let's get our pretty little blue dice. We're gonna switch that to Vale. Gonna pull out these cards. And we're gonna start with the hero, my boy Vale. From Order 3, the Glacier class is a Conjurer hero. Standing tall at 19 life, 20 shield, 12 defense. He can wield the ranged weapons and critical art. His rejuvenation is 9 before V-trigger. When he V-triggers, and his shield goes up to 21 from 20. Defense stays at 12. It's alright. Probably the lowest defense after V-trigger. Rejuvenation goes up to 11. The V-trigger ability is add 2 kinetic damage to all equipped weapons that deal damage to a frozen enemy. We got the Glacier class. Weak to fire by 2 and resist arc. We got the unique Glacier hero item for Vale. It's a permafrost, ranged weapon, is a handgun. It targets for 8, hits for 2 shield, and 3 kinetic. The abilities are Frozen Strike, deal 2 glacier damage to a frozen enemy. Icebound, after rolling a 4, 5, or 6, freeze the target enemy until the end of your turn. Energy Increase, if the enemy is frozen, choose to destroy 2 storage energy points, times 2 kinetic damage and shield damage. So with this, once you roll and you successfully target the enemy, Icebound freezes the enemy as long as you roll a 4, 5, or 6 right here. Let's roll it. Boom, 6. Enemy is frozen. So now the Frozen Strike, deal 2 glacier damage to a frozen enemy. And since they're frozen, if we have 2 extra energy left over that we haven't used yet during our turn, Energy Increase is available to be used. And the kinetic damage will go to 6 and the shield damage will go to 4. We have an ability, Attack, Supernova, for a Conjurer only. Play this card face up, deal 5 kinetic damage to all heroes. So this card will be placed in the ability section and you will do 5 damage to yourself and to the enemy. We got Energy Blast, ability Attack for a Conjurer only. Play this card face up, deal 4 shield damage. So you play this card in the ability section and you'll deal 4 shield damage to the enemy. Got 2 of those. We got an ability Support, Energy Drain for a Conjurer. Play this card face up, steal 1 storage energy from your enemy. Play this right here. Your enemy goes down 1 storage energy and you will go up 1 storage energy. An ability Rift, Focus for a Conjurer only. Play this card face up. Once per turn, draw a card. Cost 2 storage energy per turn. So this is a Rift. You can play this down and it will stay for the remainder of the match. And if you want to use it, you have to use 2 storage energy just like you're activating a card, and then you can draw a card at any time. An ability Grenade, the Kinetic Grenade. This is a neutral, so any hero can use this. It does a shield damage of 1, a splash damage of 2, which is for another game mode. This won't have any effect on a 1v1 situation, and 3 kinetic damage. The only ability for this grenade is Grenade. You roll 1 die, If you get a 4, 5, or 6, deal 1 kinetic damage. So you roll a die. 2. I did not get it. You will play this down in the ability section, deal the damage, roll a die, and then discard. Another ability support, Energy Summon. This is also a neutral. You play this card face up. Each player draws 3 cards. You play this down in the ability section. You draw 3 cards, and your enemy draws 3 cards. This card is really good to use if your enemy has a high count card close to the maximum of 8 cards. You can throw this down and make them draw more to take the life damage. Now we have an item, handgun. The lockout from Talentech manufacturer. This is a ranged weapon. Targets for 6, hits for 2 kinetic. The one ability is called the quick shot. Target the enemy immediately once equipped. So once you have 3 storage energy to play it down. Before you place your ammo, you have the ability to target your enemy. If you were playing against Vale, you would hit for 2 kinetic. It's like it has a bullet in the chamber ready to go before you have to put the ammunition down. And this is an item. It'll be placed down in the item section. We got 2 of these. We have another handgun called the Illusion. This is a ranged weapon. Targets for 6, hits for 2 kinetic. The one ability is ambush. Abilities cannot stop you from targeting. We have 2 of those as well. Now we have a ranged weapon called the Orion, which is an SMG. This targets for 5, hits for 3 kinetic. This requires 2 ammunition, and the one ability is rapid targeting. Once per turn, target again after missing. So if you target and you miss, we missed, we get to target again to try and hit, and we missed again. Now we have the Mortis, which is from Triconian Rift manufacturer. This is a ranged weapon, also an SMG. This targets for 6, hits for 4 kinetic. This has 2 abilities. The first one is Shift. When equipping this weapon, immediately draw a card. So once you place this weapon down, boom, draw another card. The V-Trigger ability, which you can only use if your hero is V-Triggered, it's multiple targets. After damaging the enemy, choose any enemy and deal half the damage of this weapon. We have a hero item that is a neutral. You can have up to 4 of these in your deck. It does not require any ammunition. This is the Alteration. It targets for 6, hits for 2 shield and 2 kinetic. No V-Trigger ability, but the first ability is rapid targeting. Once per turn, target again after missing. And ambush. Abilities cannot stop you from targeting. We have the Levin Collider. This is a critical art. Remember, Vale can do ranged weapons and critical art. This one is known as a Silenx. This will buff your hero and buff any weapons on the board. So it will add 1 kinetic damage to any of the weapons on the board. It will add 2 shield damage to any weapons on the board. And it will buff your hero and allow them to rejuvenate their shield by 2. So with V-Triggered, Vale is at 11. If you have this on the board with 2 energy cartridges attached, he can rejuvenate to he can rejuvenate up to 13. The abilities for the Collider are devouring energy. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Resist 2 energy class damage. The next one is Gimbal. After dealing damage with a weapon, choose to target once more. Does not apply to a hero weapon. So you have this placed down. I can target with the Permafrost, target with the Mortis, and then I go here, I have Gimbal, I can target with the Mortis again, and you can hit with this twice. The vid trigger ability, sustainable energy, times 2 storage energy points for each card you exile. So every time you exile a card, instead of going up 1, you go up 2. For these abilities and buffs to be activated, you must have your energy cartridges attached below. Speaking of energy cartridges, here's one now. This is a power-up energy cartridge attached to an equipped weapon to meet the weapon's energy cartridge requirements. This one requires 2, so we will attach 2 underneath. Now we have met the requirement, so now everything on this is activated. This buffs the weapons by 1 kinetic and 2 shield. So the Mortis here, this will be doing 5 kinetic damage and 2 shield. Then with your V-Trigger multiple targets, it will do 7 kinetic damage with 2 shield. And then you can target again. 14 kinetic damage and 4 shield. Big buff. Love this card. Now we got kinetic ammunition. This is also a power up. This is the other ammunition for your weapons, for your ranged weapons, attached to an equipped weapon to meet the weapon's ammunition requirements. The Mortis here is 2 ammo down in the bottom corner. So you'll place this underneath. And now you meet the weapons requirements to be able to target to your enemy. That is all we have in the Vale starter deck. This is one of my favorite starter decks, and of course my favorite hero. So check out the next video and let's see some gameplay. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, so you don't miss any future Vanquisher content. Nebulae